Dortmund.
Hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Game of Two Halves podcast. I'm Valley, and we have Vijay. Hey, Vijay.
Hey Valley, how's it going, man?
It's going good. You know what time it is. You know why I'm smiling.
I very well know why you're smiling, and it's so good to be back. I know it's been a while that
Yeah, there have
we've
been
done the
some theories
podcast.
floating around why you've not been here. Something about a billion squad, something about no points on the board. I don't know. There are multiple reasons. People are saying in the chats that people are trying to escape. I even read a comment, someone saying that Vijay is waiting for Chelsea's first win to come back on the podcast. So,
Well, yeah, a lot of rumors floating around, but no, man, it's all because you've been just enjoying Arsenal's progress, and
yeah,
obviously you've been so excited for Champions League, and that's why you decided to do this today. I know that. I know. So, guys, our episode today is about the Champions League, and Valley has been ringing me every day. He's like, dude, come on, Champions League, man. Arsenal is
yeah.
back after 7 years, so let's do this. So here we are.
That's the thing is like I needed someone to talk to, even if that means someone who's not in the Champions League. It's fine, let's do it.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
I'll let you bask in the glory. Yeah.
So everyone knows us, a former Chelsea team supporter, active Arsenal supporter. So this season in Champions League, who are you supporting?
Uh, See, I mean, it's the best competition, right? Best football competition on earth, you can say, club
Okay,
competition.
you've
So,
answered the question already. Thank you. We at Arsenal, thank you for your support. And on that note, I think maybe let's get into the Champions League. This episode, we're going to talk all about Champions League. I think there's no other place than to start with the tables. We've got eight groups that we need to go review and see what is our prediction, who's going to get out of these groups and go into the next round. Champions League start today. I think the first match is already on its way as we are recording this episode, but it's still early days in the Champions League, so we want to see, according to us, who's going to be there. And you let us know in the comments if you agree to our predictions, and let us know your thoughts. What do you think, Vijay? Let's get into it.
yeah, let's get right into it, man.
Yeah, and
So,
starting with Group A, the match I think which everyone is going to be looking forward to this week is a big one. Bayern Munich versus Manchester United. That's in Group A. Also, Copenhagen and Galatasaray are in this group. What are your thoughts on this group?
yeah, I think it should be an easy group for Bayern Munich, especially now that they've signed Harry Kane, right? And I've been following as in just the league a little bit, not watching the matches, but the table, and Kane I think has scored in almost every game in the league, and he's unstoppable. He's just his usual uh scoring form. So I mean, and after seeing the result of the Brighton versus Manchester United game, I think it's gonna be a big score today. I hope
Yeah,
it is a
because
big
if
score.
you think about Galatasaray, I mean, they've not really done well over the last few years. I mean, they're a team that does well in their league, and that's the reason they are
Yeah,
either in the Champions League or the Europa League. But they've really not challenged any top team. So I would still go with Manchester United able to move ahead into the next round. I think Bayern would fancy their chances to top this group.
yeah, I think it's gonna be close for that second place because uh yeah, Champions League is where a lot of these surprises
Yeah.
happen, right? I mean, you see some teams, there are a lot of upsets. Last season also we had so many upsets, right? I was just watching the review of last season, and just some of the games where the obvious teams lost. So you never know, man. Galatasaray has been, I think, in this competition for some time, and we keep hearing of that name. So you never know. I mean, if United lose both their games against Bayern Munich, then suddenly the group is all
Yep.
open. They have to win the other games. So it's going to be interesting, but I
I think
might
outside of
side with
Bayern,
it.
the other three, have
Yeah,
almost at this stage have almost
yeah,
an equal opportunity to move to the next stage. But
correct.
I think just going by the size of the club and the
Yeah.
history of the club, you would fancy Manchester United moving easily. But I think given with all that's going on, and there's no time on one episode to go into what all is happening in Manchester United, that would be my take. So I would go for Group A, Bayern and United. What's your final on Group A?
Yeah, I think I'll go with Bayern and United. I think they should be able to sort their mess out and yeah.
All right, let us know what you think in the chat. Group A. Moving on to Group B, I think one of the most important groups in this Champions League. I think this tournament in itself has not been the same for the last 6 7 years, and it's mainly because of this group, mainly because of the teams in this group that have not been there shining. Sevilla, Europa League winners multiple times, a great team. Arsenal, I think one of the best teams in the world, back in the Champions League. That's why you can see there's a lot more interest now in the Champions League from a lot of fans. PSV, it's very close to where I live in the Netherlands, a big club doing well. And Lens from France. So some big teams in this group. My prediction obviously would be for Arsenal to move into the next round. And I would say Sevilla, they generally do well in European competitions and can take all teams right till the end. What's your thought?
Yeah, before I get into the predictions, Valley, just you are in the Champions League. I mean, obviously we all know about the revenue and the money coming in and all of that stuff. But as a fan, what does this mean to you, man? I mean, to be back in the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, banter side about whatever I said. I think every football fan, I mean, I can't say every football fan, but those who support English teams, European Football League, and who follow know how big the Champions League is, know what it means to the club, to the players. In some way, I feel some of these footballers, more than their own national team, this is something that they hold so much dear. Of course, the World Cup is prestigious and important, but this is something that you can achieve every year, right? To play at the highest level. And the name is so suitable. It's Champions League, which means you're competing with the best of the best from this region.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You said it right. Competing with the champions from all the different countries in Europe, and yeah, I mean, all I can say is enjoy the competition, man. It's one of the rare occasions where we are missing out. But yeah, I'm going to watch all the games. I'm going to follow it because it's the best club competition in the world. So about predictions, yeah, I think Arsenal should do well. They are a team who are on the, you said, on the right path. You know, they're playing really good football. I think it was a hard fought win against Everton on the weekend. So I think Arsenal should top this group. And Sevilla, considering their credentials in Europe, I think they should finish second. What
Yeah,
about you?
I think I would agree with you there. I know that PSV can't be taken lightly because they are a formidable team. They're always in Europe, either the Champions or the Europa League. So they have much more experience. So think about it this way. Just last on this group, Arsenal have not been in this competition for 7 years. That means for 7 years, none of these players have played in the Champions League besides maybe a Zinchenko, Jesus, who's played with Man City. So the
Exactly.
maturity level, the team has not played at this level. So it's not going to be as easy as it is because everything's changing, the tactics change, you're moving to different countries, you're not just moving within England to games. It's a midweek game, so you, well, in fact, we just played on Sunday and we're playing again, so we're having a shorter break for recovery. And so there's a lot more complexity to it, but I do agree with you. I think Arsenal and Sevilla would go into this as favorites, but PSV can't be taken for granted. I'm going to quickly move into Group C now. Group C, we got Napoli, who did amazing last season. We got Real Madrid, who seems to, with Jude Bellingham coming back into the team, is resurrected. Their stadium is new. It looks amazing. So I'm sure
Amazing.
they'll be waiting to welcome Champions League football in that amazing stadium of theirs. There's Braga and Union Berlin in this. I don't think so. There's much debate on who's going to go ahead into this. I predict Napoleon and Madrid to go ahead.
Yeah, we'll keep it short. Yeah, I'll go with those predictions, and I would probably uh Real Madrid top the
Yeah.
group. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Group D, we got Benfica, Inter Milan, Salzburg, and Sociedad. Again, I think a mixed bag for me. But I don't know, but Inter didn't do well last season, so it'll be interesting to see what they do this time. But I think Benfica and Inter should be your favorite choices to go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Inter they lost in the final, right? Yeah, it was Inter Milan versus City, right? It was.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the way they lost the match, it was
yeah,
very disappointing
yeah.
to watch them. And throughout, I don't know, I had the feeling that throughout the tournament they did well, but was it because they did well, or was it because the competition was such that really I don't remember any stellar performances from last season's Champions League, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I think I mean if they got to the finals, I would assume they had a good obviously season. But like you said, yeah, I think the only one I can remember is the semifinals because I didn't really follow them in the group stages. We were following the other teams, right? You had your Liverpool, you had your Manchester City, Real Madrid. So following those teams, so didn't really focus too much on Inter Milan. But yeah, to just sum this group up, I think Inter and Benfica should be the ones going ahead.
All right, perfect. And chat, let us know in the chats for all of these groups. Moving into Group E, Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid, Lazio, and Celtic. Feyenoord is not a team that can be ignored as well. They're quite a good side. Um, Celtic, I think over the years has not really shined for me. My prediction in this would be Madrid and Lazio to move ahead.
Yeah, I'm not really sure on this group. Yeah, I mean, don't really follow these teams or leagues much. I mean, obviously Atletico Madrid is I think a former uh, La Liga winner. So yeah, I'll go with Madrid. And which was the other one you said? I'll go with your
So it's
predictions only.
Feyenoord, Lazio, and Celtic.
No, but what did you go with? I'll go with
I
your
went with
predictions.
Lazio and Madrid.
Yeah, same.
All right. Then comes Group F, and rightly titled Group
Oh,
F. We have to spend some time on this group because there's a lot to talk about in this group. You've got PSG, whose only existence that they created is to win the Champions League, and it still eludes them after all of these years and all of the stars. Even Messi couldn't save them. Dortmund, who I think similar to Brighton in the Premier League, are one of those sides that seems to always have great players in their team. Their recruitment, their youth academy is amazing. Bellingham, Haaland, Sancho, Aubameyang. You can just name it, and I think it's like the birth of footballing stars have happened from this club. So definitely a strong contender. And you got Milan, obviously, royalties in the Champions League and of course the Italian league. And then you got Newcastle, who at the end of last year would have thought they're going to give a fight. They've not really started well in the Premier League, but this is the Champions League. It could be a different ball game. So it's as they say every year, the group of death, the most toughest group. What are your thoughts, Vijay, on this?
yeah, man, this is a very, very tough group because you have Milan who have won this competition, what, 7, 8 times? I don't remember the number, maybe or more than 10 times. Probably I don't remember. I mean, they are veterans, right, of the competition. And then you have PSG and Dortmund, like you mentioned, really good young talent, a really good football club, and Newcastle, who is again on the up, just like Arsenal, I would say, because they've been doing everything right. They're playing well, they have a good coach, They have a good culture at the club also. So, uh, yeah, it's a new competition. Getting used to 3 games in a week is going to be difficult for Newcastle as well. They're not used to it for some time now. So, it's very close, man. I don't know. I really don't know. Like it's
Yeah,
so
I was going to
close.
come to this question now. And who do you pit to go into the let's do what my favorite way of doing this is to eliminate
Yeah.
likely option to go ahead. And for me, that at this stage, given all of it, like it's a new experience for Newcastle. They're not doing well at the moment, and they have to compete with these three mammoth teams. I think Newcastle are going to be the ones struggling the most to go to the next stage.
Yeah, yeah, I'll
That
agree
leaves
with
us with
you.
three options. Who would be from these three, like for sure they're moving ahead?
For me, I think I know which two. I'll go with my two. That's Milan and PSG. I think they'll go through Milan because they made it to the semifinals last year. So that will be at the back of their mind. They'll want to improve on that. They have a very young team also, some great talent. Rafael Leo is one of them, right? And PSG, of course, Mbappe is still there, and all the other folks around. So I think Milan and PSG will just edge Newcastle and Dortmund.
Yeah, my heart says that PSG and Milan, but I feel I'm going to go for a different prediction for me. I'm going to go with Milan and Dortmund. But I think it'll be
Fair enough.
interesting to hear in the chat what everyone
Yeah,
has to say.
yeah, yeah.
And moving on into the last two groups, Group G, starting with champions Manchester City, Leipzig. I don't know how this one is going. Sverna Zveda and Young Boys. I don't know if I'm
I think
butchering that name. It's a Turkish club, I think. And Young Boys. Um, I think I have my favorites here already with Leipzig and Man City to move ahead.
yeah, 100% agree. It's a Serbian club. I just checked.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. I think City and Leipzig, correct. Yeah, I think they should. City is. I think yeah, they got a very simple one, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so they'll go through. Yeah, I agree with yours.
Yeah. And then moving
Uh,
to Group H is Barca, Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Antwerp. Again, I think quite clear here with Porto and Barca. Barca definitely should do well to move to the next stage. Porto have also traditionally done well at these early stages, at least to move out of them. So that's mine. Agree or what's your thought on it?
Yeah, I think I'll also go with Barcelona and Porto. I think Barcelona need to do better this time around. I think they'll be trying to. They have players like they have Cancelo now. They have I think João Felix went back, right?
Yep.
Joined them, and they have Lewandowski. So they should do well. They should. I mean, yeah, few players do make a big difference, right? So I think there is a lot of expectations from them. So yeah, I go with Barcelona and Porto.
Yeah, and that's it. That's a prediction from all of these group stages. I'm going to quickly recap what our choices are. I think besides one group in Group F where we disagreed, Group A, we are predicting Bayern and United to go through. Group B, Sevilla and Arsenal. Group C, Napoli and Madrid. Group D, we've gone for Benfica and Inter Milan. Group E, we've gone for Atletico Madrid and Lazio. Group F is where we've differed, which has gone for PSG and Milan. I've gone for Dortmund and Milan. Group G, Man City and RB Leipzig. And Group H, Barcelona and Porto. Let us know in the comments what do you think of our predictions. Let us know what are your predictions. And before we end this video, let us also give our predictions on who's going to be Champions League winners. And you too, let us know who's your Champions League winner. Vijay, I'm going to start with you. Who's your prediction? Okay, let's make it a little bit easier. Let's choose your semi-finalist, and then you give me your your winner. So at least we're in the ballpark. Which are the top four?
But see, we don't know like which teams are going to be in the semi. Like we don't know who's going to play
Yeah,
who,
but
right? So
if a team does
the
well,
four, you mean
yeah,
the
give your
top
top.
four? Okay, I think it's going to be Madrid. It's going to be Real Madrid, of course, not Atletico. Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Man City. Yeah, I'll probably go with Barcelona. Yeah.
All right, interesting. So these are
Unless they meet each other and get
yeah.
knocked out in the round of 16.
We'll have a new video once we
Yeah.
reach the round of 16. But
What
early
about yours?
on, these are your four
Yeah.
teams that
Yeah.
you're predicting to go there. So that's Manchester City, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich, yeah.
Arsenal in Vijay's prediction there. And do you want to also wrap it up with who do you think could win?
Go with Bayern. I don't know why. I have this feeling that Bayern is set up for the Champions League this year, with the signing of Kane and the young talent that they have coming through. I'll go with Bayern.
All right.
What about you?
I'm going to give mine now. I do feel that Bayern is going to be a strong contender this year. I think for me that would be their focus this year. Real Madrid, I think they look a solid team and a good team to go through the competition. So that's my second team. I would definitely back Arsenal to go a long distance. I don't know if they would win it, but I do feel that they have the opportunity to go a long distance. And then you can't have the Champions League without Manchester City because they've consistently done well in this tournament to reach the final stages. So these would be my final four. If I have to go for a win, I would have to agree with you on Bayern, but I feel that Manchester City can still do it and win the second one. So my final response would be Bayern Munich, but lurking behind would be Manchester City. The other fans, let us know your thoughts on your Champions League teams. Unfortunately, not all teams can make it into the Champions League. But if your team's in the Champions League, like mine, then let me know your predictions. Do write a comment and we'll make sure that we respond to your comment. If you have any questions for us as well, we like to take some questions for a change. And that's it on the show. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Vijay, and enjoy the Champions League.
Thank you, Ali. All the best, guys.
What?
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 What?